There's a place, a school, an institution where a professor resides. One that for the past 30 years has traveled the world teaching others. A pioneer in America of the fighting science of Savate. One who codified the sports of this fighting style. One who has produced clubs, champions, and continues to develop. Listen to words of Professor Buitron.
Hey guys, hope everybody's doing well. We had a tremendous week last week. We had our 15th annual World Pugilist Hall of Fame. We had some great individuals, some great friends. We made some new friends from around the world, and that's what it's all about within the martial arts. It's all about fellowship. And, we exchanged ideas. We learned new things. We spread the word, the word of fellowship between everybody. Be kind to one another. And understand other cultures that we had. We had Professor Jack Othman from Malaysia that came in here and he spread his silat. We had Professor Pascal Mazoui from France, dear friend of mine, teaching the Boxe Française from Club Clichy, the legendary club of Boxe Française. It's still open, still going, still being strong. And we saw Coach Jason Webster teaching Thai boxing. We saw Abe Bonator, Kendall Martin, one of our guys, one of my first students, actually my first student, my oldest student. He became the first person to become a champion of Savate here in the States. And he has a second school that's been open the longest since 1994, Left Hook Savate Club up in Plano, Texas. And so we had some great fun, and everybody enjoyed themselves. We're looking towards some new events that we're having. We're having some new events coming up in the near future. There's one, let's bring back the handshake on February 3rd, which we have some great individuals that are going to be present for that event. And, people like Jerry Fast Feet Fontaines is going to be here. Mahaguru Stephen Plink is going to be here. Dr. David O'Connor is going to be here. State Representative Richard Raymond is going to be here. Attorney Ken Goldberg might show up. We have Attorney Nathan Chu is going to be there. We have Delio Baby Red Palacios, an old boxer, is going to be here. We have Hassan Shittaz, a world champion boxer, the oldest man to become a world champion, is going to be here in boxing. And we're going to be touching base on being a man, not being afraid of having our emotions, our businesses, our negotiations, kind of getting everything, trying to touch outreach for the youngsters that are out there, not only in martial arts, but in life, and what martial arts has brought into us, what we've done with it, how to become a leader in your own right, and regardless if it's martial arts or not. So it's going to be a great event that we're looking forward in hosting. But in today's channel, the question was the greatest point, the greatest fear of fighting in the street, especially in Laredo. There's something here in Laredo that's known as El Baño, the shower. Everybody else means they got jumped in the street. I'll tell you what happens. Aggravated assault is aggravated assault. When you have multiple people and become aggravated assault, and changes the perspective, changes the laws, and so on and so forth. So you go on and you all can study the penal code, look it over, and do some research. But let me tell you, folks, I don't care who you are. If you're placed in the ground and you have 2, 3, 4 people kicking you, changes things. So when you train in martial arts that specifically tell you to get the opponent and take them down to the ground, in the street it's a very dangerous situation. Because in the street, there's a level of energy that goes out, then it becomes a frenzy. And within that frenzy, everybody attacks. And it doesn't matter if the person's with you or not with you, you're going to get attacked, you're going to get hit, you're going to feel the blows. And when you go down, you can be jumped. They can give you a baño, which means shower. And I'll show you a video that happened a couple of weeks ago here in Laredo, Texas, which is common ground, which is common every time you go out, is you're going to get 1, 2, 3 people, and everybody else is just going to start kicking you as soon as somebody goes down, regardless if it's a winner or regardless if it's a loser, or it might have been everybody went against somebody because you attacked your friend or you were beating up a friend, and everybody just jumps you. The dangers of that are very severe. Okay, you can kill somebody. Somebody's going to get hurt. Usually broken jaws is what happens when you go down. Try to wrestle somebody in the ground. His friend comes up and kicks you in the face. Those dangers are there. So just understand when you teach and when you do martial arts, and the system or style that you're doing is to take somebody to the ground. What are the dangers of reality of you taking somebody to the ground? It's very important. You better, and as realist in the fights, and believe me, I've seen many of them. Had 1 or 2 altercations, which I'm not proud of, but there's a couple there, right? So I've seen it, I've experienced it, I know what it is, I know what happens. The street is cruel. It's not going to help you out. And like I tell people, this is for educational purposes only. Be very careful of when you get into a fight, period, number 1. Second, if you go to the ground, what's going to happen? Third, what's going to happen if there's multitude of friends around? 3, what happens if you're inside a place, you stay back at a party, you're at a bar, something happens, you hit somebody, the guy goes out and comes back. Usually they come back with either more people or with something to put you down with. So you better be careful of things that go on, especially in the street. Okay? I will leave you with this. Our new book's out, from Crew to Tribe. Read it. It's about how to keep open a martial arts school, how to keep it up and running, and what we should do about it. How's it been going? It's basically how I have kept this school open for 30 years. Okay, 30 years plus actually. So I started teaching at the age of 18, and I'm 54 now, so you can do the math. All right. Till next time, much peace. Stay calm. Be collective.